This week, you'll hear from Coach Smith about his coaching career. Thanks to Dave Johnson of WBRG, who helped me with a couple facts that aren't well known about Coach Smith. While Coach was at William Campbell, he was not only a coach, but an athletic director. After 5 years, he went to Heritage, where he coached for 19 years, 16 as an assistant coach and 3 as head coach. In 2011, God brought him to Appomattox. In 2015, Coach started the PO1 theme, which brought our community together through quite a few tragedies. Even today, the PO1 theme is very strong in our area. Currently, he has the most winning percentage with the Raiders than any other coach in Central Virginia.
I coached a year at Liberty, of course, learned a lot there under Morgan Howe. And then my first high school job was at William Campbell. I was there for 5 years, and I realized after the first year at William Campbell that this is a ministry. This is not football. This is a ministry. These kids need someone to tell them about the Lord, because I just couldn't believe how many people didn't know how to trust God and how wonderful it was to have God in their life. So, I didn't really start any kind of Bible group there at first. I just started working with individuals, and I actually had some of these kids actually that had really serious problems came and lived with us and stayed with us different times, and they would, you could spend time with them. You eat, you pray, you do their homework with them, and then at night you'd have Bible time and prayer time, and that was just an amazing thing. But what a blessing that was from my life and their life, and how God used that. And then when God, he moved me from William Campbell to Heritage, and I was there for 20 years and coached there. I did the 9th grade JV of varsity. I started, with the varsity, and I asked to move down to 9th. And as I was, with the younger teams, more of as a head coach position, it was really neat because you could really run the program like you wanted. And so we started off with a Bible study during lunch with a few kids. And the way we did that, it really wasn't until the end of my first year coaching 9th and JV that started. But the way we did that is we met with these kids at the end of the year at my parents' place, and we'd show them their highlight video, and then I'd get up and tell them, this is why I coach. Let me explain to you why we coach. And I knew a lot of them already knew that. We'd done things through the season, but I wanted to share my testimony full. And then I had a couple of the coaches share a testimony, and after that was over, we had that first time we had 3 kids raise their hand and ask the Lord to come into their heart, and that started a group that would do that every year, and it grew and grew and grew, and then when we went back, I think I went back up to the varsity a little bit, and then I came back down and we did it again. And of course, this was just Bible study because I hadn't met Tim Hill, but then I met him and I realized that, man, we need FCA. This is exactly what we need. This is the support we needed to support us with Bibles and just support, period, prayer, and sometimes the food and the Gatorades and the speakers. And so it was just so great. Well, so it became an FCA, and so the second time we did it, I remember we did it again. We had 3 more people raise their hand. I'm talking about the second time with the 9th grade group. And that group was, I'm trying to think of those 3 guys. I guess it was Mario and Marcus Wright. Marcus Moore. That's terrible. But, and then Jermaine Johnson. All 3 of those guys got saved at the upstairs of my parents' house. And it was life-changing. These guys, they wanted that Bible study and that prayer group. And so we started with the FCA, and we started meeting at lunch, and they were loving it. And they wanted to reach their teammates. And so that's what they started doing. And that was their 9th grade year. Tim was really involved with us then, and it was just great because we would have these FCAs every week. We'd get the whole team coming, 9th and JV, and then with the varsity, we had a majority of them with the varsity, and just to watch what was happening, what God was doing, was an amazing thing. And over those next few years at Heritage, but those kids would, Jermaine Johnson is actually a coach at Glass now, and the Moores, both the Moores work for their dad. Well, actually do what their dad did, and an architect, Kelvin Moore, and but to see their lives, to see the testimonies that they have, the things that they post on their pages and stuff, I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. But they reached out to their whole team, and that team actually was the first team that ever won. Actually, when we go back to the other team, the other ninth grade group, 4 years later, they went to the state, and then this ninth grade team, 4 years later, they went and won the state in 2002. And I just want to say, that's how God did. He blessed us with wins, and that's not really what we're after. We were after just life-changing things. But that's a great recipe for a winning team. Is to love and trust and do things for other people. That makes great team. And so anyways, that happened at Heritage, and then God moved me from Heritage into Appomattox. This was after I became a head coach. I was a head coach there, and as a head coach, doing some of the things with FCA wasn't as accepted in the city, and so that brought about a few things. But again, it was a God thing to move me from. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I was no longer the head coach, and the people that were involved with that decision, I'll just say it right now. A lot of people wanted me to hate and wanted me to, think, oh, this is awful for this removal. But I'll be honest with you, I knew at that point I needed to pray for them and love them like everybody else, and I needed to move on. And I didn't know what God had for me. I knew that it was going to be something great if God was involved, and so it was a God thing. I claimed Romans 8:28, all things work together for good for those that love God, and I believe that's why He's blessed every move that I've ever made. Is to remember, in every situation there's 3 words you can say, and that is thank you, Jesus. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad or it looks terrible. If it's devastating or if it's remarkable, thank you, Jesus, because He's involved in our lives, and He has the ultimate plan. Man has, their plans, and we have our plans, and we think they're right, but God has the ultimate plan, and that's the important thing. So that's really where I'm at now. I'm at a place where they are a tremendous community that backs up this faith-based coaching style, and they understand it, and we don't have all believers there, and so you're going to have your 1 or 2, but just it's an amazing place. I mean, even I've had Muslims come out for our team, and I remember asking the parent before they left. I said, these guys are going to be praying here just a little bit, so if that bothers them and they bring out a Bible or whatever, if you want me to remove them from that group or whatever. They were like, no. Just to be at a place that has faith, any kind of faith. That's what we want for our kids. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. God would even protect us in those situations. But and so just being able to carry that testimony into and what God's done in my life through Liberty, and then through the coaching experience into the kids. That's kind of where I'm at now. The most important, really, part of it.
As you heard from Coach, the impact that Bible studies and FCA had on his life and those of his athletes were very important. If you would like to be involved with FCA, influencing coaches and athletes in our area, contact Tim Hill or Cheryl Ellis.